live, Facebook and YouTube. And oops. Yeah, sorry. Welcome to the Dr. Dare Show. It's Friday night. We made it. Woo! So we are here doing our usual hot topic hop Fridays. And we have two interesting topics that I found online. And I just wanted to get into those discussions. And let's see where they are. Let's see if we got them ready to go. Okay, and there they are. And so we focused on two topics here, and the first one was focused on, let me read it verbatim. Hold on. So if you come in, click share, click share. You know the drill. Say hi to each other like you usually do. Um, do do you believe? Our first topic is: do you believe only children and dogs are loved unconditionally, and men are only loved if they are providing something? That's our first question. Do you believe that men are only loved if they're providing something, but women and children are loved unconditionally? That's our first question. And then our second question is: do you think Will and Jada Smith and Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade's parenting styles are foreign to most black families, or any families in that case? And why do most black families have an authoritarian style of child parenting? Is there a connection to slavery? So those are our two questions for tonight. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Nicole Kelly. How are you? How are you? Did you get your rest today? Yeah. So I'm just putting those first questions up there. The first one is: do you believe only children and dogs are loved unconditionally? And men are only loved if they are providing something? That's our first question. We haven't started yet. So, um, yeah, just getting started. As soon as you come in, click share. I am good. I'm tired. I just got in from teaching class, but I'm good. It's been a fast. The week went by really fast. Just stayed kind of busy. Busy, busy. How was your climb to the mountaintop? Oh, glory. Yeah, so that's our first question we put up here, and then I'll put the second one. But we haven't started yet. We're waiting for more people to come in. As soon as you come in, click share. Just checking in with everyone to see how um, messages, messages. What am I saying? What are you saying, Fred? Just checking in to see how everybody is doing. How's their week been? Again, when you come in, click share. Yeah, it was hot out there too, Kelly, to be climbing the mountaintop. I have seen the promised land. Oh Lord, you walked this morning, then the mountain, and then you went to sleep. I haven't went to sleep, wide awake. Oh, so you should sleep good tonight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Muggy as hell, took forever. Yeah, it was because it was muggy when I was in the house all day working, but then when I went to go to the gym at about 5, it was really hot already. Hey Jade. Jade says it's funny. My hubby posted this today, and I told him I don't agree. Oh, good, good. We're gonna get into it, Jade. We want to get your opinion as well. Good, good, good. But yep. So everybody, if you just came in, click share. We have two topics. The first one is: do you believe only children and dogs are loved unconditionally, and men are only loved if they are providing something? And then our second topic is: where we at? Do you think Gabrielle Union? No, 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 no. Do you think Will and Jada Smith and Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade's parenting styles are foreign to most black families? Why do most black families have an authoritarian style of parenting? Is there a slavery to connection to slavery? Me and a client actually got on that topic, and so when I saw this, I thought it was a good topic because I think Most black families are authoritarian style, but we'll get into that when other people join us. Check in with each other. Hope everybody had a great week. Um, hopefully we don't have to go back in lockdown and start wearing masks again. I don't know. The numbers are climbing back up, and it's like, are we ever gonna get out of this thing? Yeah, but I digress. Yeah, so check in. Let me know how you're doing out there. Um, okay, let me put this up. I started this, and let me post it. Post that. Post that. That's gone. Sorry, I'm multitasking, posting things. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. So good week for me. Seen a lot of clients. Learned a lot of things this week. Worked a lot. Um, Nothing new for me, right? But yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, we got some new messages here. Yes, they are. My friend said they have 14 beds and eight of them are filled with COVID patients. Yeah, I saw the news, Kelly. I was watching that today and saw how yeah, some of the cases are getting back up. So hopefully we don't have to, we probably just have to wear masks again, which I still be trying to wear most of the time anyway. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Yep. So when you come in, click share, and we will get started momentarily on the two topics that we have while I multitask. So I did do some research on uh like Will Smith and Jada and Dwayne Wade, and they won't shut up, they won't shut down again. Yeah, I don't think so. And I think Dr. Jen Cottle, who I found follow on well, I'm on in her one of her groups. And she was saying it's probably going to just be mass mandates, which I think a lot of states are starting to do that now. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully they won't shut it down. People won't have it. That's going to be hard to do. Cause breaking up is hard to do. Okay, we'll start at 5. I keep saying 5. My computer says 5. 8:40, and we'll get started in a second. Linux. Okay. Okay, let's get started. Hold on. I'm multitasking, y'all. I'm posting on social media, trying to pull up things. Okay, anyway. Okay, that's done. Okay, first topic, let me pull it back up. So, do you believe only children and dogs are loved unconditionally and men are only loved if they are providing something? What are your thoughts on that topic? Because men, we seem to get the bad rap, and I'm not going to jump on sides. I always leave my opinion for last. But and I don't know if this is still the case anymore, that children and dogs and women, I thought women was on here. Do you believe only children and dogs are loved unconditionally and men are only loved if they are providing something? Do you agree with that statement? And Jade, you said you didn't agree. Um, why don't you agree? Because I honestly think men are taught to be like, to show no emotion, to be the head of the household, to be strict and direct, and there's no room for the emotional part. But that emotional part is given to the children and now dogs and women. I don't know why this statement doesn't have women in there, but I pulled this off of social media. Um, I don't know. Do you believe that men are only going to be loved if they are good providers? That's the bottom line. Oh, And Nicole says, some people are with deadbeats, and the woman or man will still love and take care of them. You said feel they won't. Oh, some people. Okay, Kelly says some people are with deadbeats, and the woman or man will still love and take care of them. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but children and women and dogs kind of get to be whatever, do whatever. I think is what this statement is saying. I'm not saying this. And they're still going to be loved. Like you're going to love a child no matter what. You're not going to want to. You're gonna. It doesn't matter what the child do. They can break everything in the house or, um, destroy stuff, but they're going to still be loved. Dogs, of course, they can't talk, so they don't. So people are going to allow them. But men, they have a strict standard. I think they have to be a certain way. They have to not show a lot of emotion. They got to be good providers. If they're not good providers, um, society looks at them as no good. And I wonder where we get that from. I wonder where that is perpetrated from. And Kelly, talk more on your point that you were making. Some people are with deadbeats, and the woman or man will still love and take care of them. So, are you saying that even though they are deadbeat, they can? Yeah. Okay, it's hard to speak on since I'm not a man, I guess. You say it's hard to speak on since you're not a man, but I think society gives us these ideas of what men are supposed to look like, what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to take care of the family. But I don't know if there's room for them to be loved unconditionally. Like, say, for instance, like you just said, Kelly, a deadbeat dad is considered a deadbeat dad. Do you hear that often as a deadbeat mom? Do you hear that a lot? But you hear a deadbeat dad all the time, but you don't. I've never heard a deadbeat mom. Have you? Because if a mom leaves her children, the society is going to say, "Oh, well, she was having some kind of mental problems. It was too much for that." But men, and I'm not picking sides or anything, but men get that title real quick. Um, Deadbeat dad. What do y'all think on that? Kelly says it's hard to speak on since I'm not a man. Nowadays there's a lot of deadbeat mamas too. Yeah, Kelly, but do you hear that term being thrown around a lot like you do with men? Cuz yeah, there are a lot of women that just kind of, you know, but I think society loves them unconditionally. They give them the excuses like, "Oh, you know, she suffered, you know, mental breakdown. She was trying to do too much." But men are not given that, right, Kelly? You don't hear deadbeat mamas. I need to start that. No, I'm just kidding, just kidding. So if you're just joining, our first question we're on, it says, "Do you believe only children and dogs are loved unconditionally?" And men are. It should be, "Do you believe only children, women, dogs are loved unconditionally? Men are only loved if they are providing something." Jay says they just call moms other things, just not using the phrase deadbeat. Right. But Jay, do you hear more? You hear more deadbeat. You don't hear a lot when I'm trying to see what you don't hear a lot when a mom kind of abandons a family. You don't really hear negative talks. And correct me if I'm wrong, but a dad is men have a lot to be responsible for according to society. And even in the Bible it's like men are supposed to be the head of the household, right? So that's kind of put out there by the Bible, by society. And if you're just joining, please Click share and come in and say hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see numbers going up. So, do you believe, and we're only on our first topic, and do you believe only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally, and men are only loved if they are providing something? So, if you have this family and this man is not providing for this family, he is going to be outcast by society. Um, my opinion, and just throwing that out there. But if, how do I phrase this? If the family is together and the wife decides to, hey, leave the family, I think she gets more sympathy. I think. What do y'all think? I'm not trying to get like Mike and put myself in a hole and get trampled. I don't know. I think it just depends on you and your family and your beliefs about men. Because if we just take it from a Bible context, men are the head of the household. It almost is like here they get this role. There's no emotional attachment. They can't, no matter what, they still have to fulfill this role. So Nicole says, I think moms will be emotionless towards the kids before they leave sometimes. Probably why we don't hear deadbeat moms thrown around. So you think moms will be emotionless towards the kids before they leave sometimes? Probably. What is that in here? Probably won't hear deadbeat mom thrown around. Yeah, we don't hear it a lot. But Jay says they're called something. They're given a name. But I just think men have to, you know, hold up a standard in our society. Where so I guess I'm saying I kind of agree with this statement that women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally, and men kind of have to stick to this gender role that they're given, and like they don't get much room to show emotions and to be, um, you know, I don't know. That's just my opinion. What do y'all think out there? So, if you're just joining, again, we're only on topic number one. Do you believe only children and dogs are loved unconditionally, and men are only loved if they are providing something? And that is our first topic that we're talking about today. So, let me know your thoughts. G Man Jordan, what's up? Men have to work for love and respect. So, you're saying that men have to put in work to gain that unconditional love, no matter what, but women and children and dogs don't. It's almost like given by society. Is that what you're saying, G man? And I actually agree with that. I agree with the part that men are given this role to be the head of the household, and if they don't uphold that, they don't get any leeway, no unconditional love from that. Women have a desire that men want and need, so it works in their favor. Oh, so the men. So are you are you saying that women need that conditional love, and so they get it from the men, and children need that unconditional love and they get it from the men? But where does the man get the unconditional love from, if that's the case? This is a hard topic because I think it depends on your background, your perspective, the way you were raised. If you were raised from a biblical perspective, that comes into play. um, but society, men are given this role, and if you don't abide by that role, you're giving that title deadbeat dad. Sorry, y'all out there. Nicole said it's not a hard topic. Why do you? And G Man says women are the emotion that men need. Oh, so you think it's okay that men don't get unconditional love? You think that is the okay topic? Nicole says society definitely shapes our opinion. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Half the stuff, half of the things or the way that we live are based on society's expectations of men, women, children, dogs for that matter. So everything that the way everything every way that everybody behaves is based on that society norm of men should act this way, men should be responsible for this, women should be this way, women should be responsible for that. And then the pets are just thrown in there. That's just a part of it. But um yeah, and society gives us those things. And so when those things are out of line, then you're frowned upon by society. Hey, you're not sticking to that gender role. You're not that man and um you're not providing for your family, so therefore you're a deadbeat dad. Oh, and G Man is saying men need respect, not love. What do y'all think, women out there? Men need respect. They don't need love. What do y'all think? And Nicole says men deserve love too, G. So G Man and Nicole, y'all are in the battle. G Man says no, men need respect, not love. And then Nicole says men deserve love too. What do y'all think? What does everybody else think about that? Being a therapist, I think men do need love. Hopefully they're getting it from their wives. Hopefully that's the way things are playing out. Oh, so Nicole, did you see that? G Man says love equals respect. They're one and the same. Love. So love is an emotion. Love is, you know, you care about that person no matter what. You love everything about them. You love their smile, their personality, their characteristics. You love all of that. And so when you love somebody, that beams off respect. I think is what Gene says. So when you're loving someone, you're going to respect them in the same thing. Nicole says balance. So to tell a man I respect you and stand with you is more powerful than just I love you. Hmm. I'm gonna put that on the screen and see if everybody agrees with that. To tell a man, to tell a man I respect you and stand with you is more powerful than just I love you. Hmm. What do y'all think, ladies out there? And that's true. I do couples counseling. What you just said, you man, you can love someone and not respect them. Because I do couples counseling, and what I found, most couples will say, "Yeah, I love them, but I don't like them. I don't respect. I don't respect them," and it is a big difference. There is a big difference there. I just think this statement has some validity to it. Um, I think there is some validity to. Let me find that statement again. It got lost in here. What's up, Mike? So Mike Wumble says men are hunters. They are not the big chief. We taught to not show our emotions and just do it. Men are not necessary men do not necessarily need unconditional love to survive. Women, children, and dogs need to feel love unconditionally to maintain us. Here go Mike. What do y'all think, women? Mike says men are hunters and they are the big chief. We're taught to not show our emotions and to just do it. Men do not necessarily need unconditional love to survive. Women, children, and dogs need to feel love unconditionally to maintain and for survival. Hmm, that's a big statement. You believe that, G Man, too? G Man is agreeing with you, Mike. So women and children and dogs need love. Where my women at? Y'all need love to survive. So you but that goes back to, and like I was saying, society has set up these gender roles. Like women are emotional and They need more attention. They need more love. They need, see, all of that's been taught by society. And men are these stoic, beings that, don't really survive on the love. They just need to do what they need to do. And that's kind of what Mike was saying and G Man is saying as well, is that men are just taught to just, you know, do work and get the love from the women and get the respect from the women. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. G Man says women need love most definitely. So he's agreeing with Mike, and then Jay's saying women need respect too. So do y'all agree, men, that women need respect? Because it seems like the men on here now are just saying the unconditional love piece is all women really, really need and want, and the emotion. I believe it's the emotional aspect of a relationship. I don't know. All I'm hearing from a therapist perspective is just gender roles and how society has established this is what a man's supposed to do and this is what a woman's supposed to do. That's basically what I'm hearing. Nicole says, whoa. Trying to keep up with y'all comments. Hold on. Okay, it's back there. There we go. Okay. Uh, and then Nicole says, if that's the case, so many men and women wouldn't be single if they needed love to survive. If that's the case, so many men and women wouldn't be single if they needed love to survive. So Kelly, you're saying women can survive without love. And G Man says most men who want or need their spouse around them is because naturally men didn't get it growing up. That's true. A lot of G Man, and that's a good point. A lot of the issues that people have, it stems from their childhood. I know that sounds so cliche, but I see a lot of clients, and what I found is the first thing we do is we go over their childhood. Like, how did you communicate when you were a child within your family? When a problem arose, how was that handled? Did you just slip it under the rug, or did you talk about it or discuss it? Or how did you handle when there was a death in the family or whatever? And what I found most importantly is that the way you handled things when you were a child, you bring that into adulthood. And so yeah, problems stem from that for the most part. Most men who want or need their spouse around them is because naturally men didn't get it growing up. Yep. Okay. And so Kelly says, yes, both need love and respect. G Man says, women don't need respect. That's only if they don't want to be dominant in an area of life. So women don't need respect. That's only if they want to be dominant in life. So G Man is saying a woman who wants to be dominant, those are the only type of women who need that respect. Do y'all agree with that, women? Nicole's replying to G Man, both men and women. Mike says, you never hear a man dying from a broken heart, only women. Shaking my head, sad case. Oops. You never hear a man dying from a broken heart, only women. So it sounds like y'all are the conversations are all of y'all are sticking to gender roles, expectations. Men are these stoic creatures who basically do what they need to do, get things done for their family, provide for their family, and women and children and dogs usually need that unconditional love. They need more emotion. They need to focus on. That's kind of what I'm hearing from everybody. Mike says you never hear. Oh, Mike, I just read that. And G Man said respect is a dominant word and emotion. Replying to G Man. So Nicole and G Man going at it. Not true. Nicole, I want love and respect. Replying to Mike. Then Mike is coming in here to false. Nicole is saying, replying to Mike, men have past of broken hearts too. Okay. Jade is smiling. Mike is, G Man is saying facts, Mike. And Nicole, all sounds sexist to me. Balance in everything, both parties deserve and need love and respect. Respect, and Jay says respect for women is appreciation, not dominance. My sister. So we seem like there's two sides, but it seems like most of y'all believe that that statement of, and let me go find it again. I keep losing it. Number one. Here we go. Yeah. So most of y'all on this in this platform are saying you do believe that children and dogs and women are loved unconditionally, and men are only loved if they are providing something. Sounds like what y'all are all agreeing with. Oh, oh, I posted that, and I wasn't supposed to. Okay, good stuff, y'all. Let me catch up with the. So if you're just joining, we're still on topic number one. Do you believe only children, women, and dogs are loved unconditionally, and men are only loved if they are providing something? So that was the topic number one that we were discussing. And let me catch up with the. Oh, y'all just talking back and forth. Yes, and dogs are more important in this life because of women. And I have noticed that dogs seem to be too important for me in society, because like you can have homeless people, and people will go out and try to take care of a dog first before they'll take care of a homeless. I never got that. I was working at a company, and they asked us, like, if you had $1 million, would you give to a charity, or would you give to a dog adoption place? And most of the people were like, dog adoption. I'm like, no, I would give it to a human. You need to. I didn't get that, but anyway, yeah. Okay. If you're just joining, this is Dr. Dare live on Facebook and YouTube. We welcome everybody. We like different opinions. We're not trying to change anybody's opinions. Your opinion is yours, and we respect that. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're on our first topic. Do you believe only children and dogs are loved unconditionally, and men are only loved if they are providing something? Um, let's see what y'all talking about. Not the dogs. Yes, and the dogs are more. G Man says yes, and the dogs are more important in this life because they good, healthy communication. Yes, yes, yes. That's what we like in this conversation. On all conversations that we have, we like feedback, negative, positive, all of it. Anyway, all right. Let's go to our second, because I don't like staying long. Let me find it. So, parenting styles in the black family is the next thing that we're talking about. So we're talking about Will Smith and Dwayne Wade. Those are the two families that we're talking about. And so the question is, do you think Will and Jada Smith and Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade's parenting styles are foreign to most black families? Why do most black families have an authoritarian style of child parenting? Do you think that's connected to slavery? And the reason I brought this up, me and a client was talking because they were having issues with their parents, and they're adults now, but they still are traumatized by things that happen. And we found that black families punish their children if they say, for instance, if you spill water, or I mean, you spill Kool-Aid on carpet. In the black family, in most black families, I won't say all, you're gonna get a beating because you spilled you spilled Kool-Aid on the floor. But if you're an adult and you spill Kool-Aid on the floor, are you gonna beat yourself? And so that's where I'm like, I don't know. And so that's where I came with this question, is because me and a client got into this discussion about this, and I was wondering, like, as slaves, that's what happened to us when we did something wrong, we got beat by our masters. And I feel like we carry that tradition on into our families, not realizing where we get that from. Let me know what y'all think. And so I brought up Will Smith and Jada Pickett Smith, and I'm just gonna screw up her name, and Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, because their style of parenting has been criticized by most black community because they're allowing their kids to have a voice. And Sometimes, I hear comments like, "Oh my God, why are you letting your kids have that much control or whatever?" But I honestly think, what do y'all got? I won't give my opinion yet. And I see a big Nicole done went in on this one, didn't you? So Nicole says, I don't see anything wrong with their parenting styles. A lot of parents beat the um, hold on. A lot of parents beat the individuality out of their kids, which will cause some to lose their true personalities, and they end up with that slave mentality of not feeling truly free mentally, and that'll gender them in society. And replying to Nicole Kelly. Nicole, you replying to yourself? Oh, hinder. Oh, you saying that'll hinder their personality. Gotcha, Nicole. So yeah. So I don't know. I just think that, and I agree with you, Nicole. Like, I don't know if beating is the answer all the time. Like, I did get my share of beatings growing up, but after like the first or second time, I'm like, my mom and dad didn't play, so I was like, all right, all they got to do is give me a look. I'm just gonna stop. I'm not gonna do that anymore. But it's just I think some parents don't know when to stop. But good point, Kelly. Mike says it's foreign to black families because they give their kids more freedom, leeway, as if they are already adults and grown. Right. I took a class in my graduate program, and the lady the professor, a white professor, was telling us. She said, "How many times have your parents said you're in a grocery store and there's a candy shelf, and they said pick anything you want." And you go pick something, and the first thing your parents say is, "Oh, put that back. That's not." But when you do that, you're taking away that child's ability to feel like they can make decisions, and that their decisions don't matter. And you start the more you start doing those things, you start taking away their confidence, their ability to make decisions. And I see it as adults. We as African Americans are so timid and scared to do stuff because the way we were raised, that uh, you be quiet, you follow the, and but white people, they don't, not all white people, but some, they are entitled. That's why they're entitled, because their parents let them be entitled. But I'll get off on. And G Man says your kids should have a voice as long as they have respect for you. And I agree with that. You got to keep the respect, because my mom and dad didn't play that. you know, but like I said, if I did something one time and I got a beating for it, I didn't do it anymore. And all my mom or dad had to do was just give me a look, and I would go sit down. Like, I ain't doing that no more. Um, And Nicole says facts, and G-Man says I choose the opposite by not beating my kids. I talk good, and that's what me and this client, because this client was really had a really hard time with, and this is an adult black man that's struggling in my therapy session, but had a real hard time with his parents and still do today. But I agree, G man, and that's what he was saying. Why can't, instead of getting beatings, why can't they be lessons? Like, what did you learn from what you just did? Why did you smack your sister in the face, or why did you paint on the wall, or whatever? Ask them, have a conversation, make it a lesson, and you know, yeah, make it a lesson. It doesn't have to be a beating. If you think about it from our perspective as black people, and how slavery, that's what slavery was. If we did something wrong, you got beaten for it. We don't want to keep that generational curse going and going and going and going. So, and Nicole says, my dad always told me that the talking hurt him more because of the disappointment you hear in their voice. That's a good point. Um, yeah, you don't want, that's the one thing too. Kids don't want to dis disappoint their parents, and it's back to the respect thing that we were talking about. And I don't have this question up here, and I need to put it on the screen. Um, so if you're just joining, we're on the second question. The first question is up. I'm getting ready to put the second question up. I thought I did, but I still got the first one up. But good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. It seems like we're on the same page with okay, and G Man says different generation. You can't raise your kids how you were raised. Different world, stores, technology, exactly. And we have to learn from our parents. Our parents did the best they could. And I always tell clients, we're never in here to criticize our parents. They did what they could with what they had. They didn't. Nobody's given a handbook to say this is how you raise children. Nobody's given that. So I'm always prefacing that in my therapy sessions with my clients that we're not here to bash parents. We're here to learn from them. Like just like you just said, G man, not take that what they did in that generation and kind of bring it into no. We want our kids to be able to survive in this world, be able to communicate with people, be able to speak up for themselves, and yes, to be entitled. We look at entitlement as a negative thing from the white perspective, but entitlement is a good thing because what entitlement means is that you know who you are, you're happy who you are, you have pride in who you are as an African American, and when you want something, you have the ability to go after it and you deserve it because you've earned it. And so I know the word entitlement gets a bad name because we've seen it, but we need to teach our kids to be entitled, basically. True. And G Man says 10 years from now they will be raising you on the way of the world. True. Things just change. That's parenting styles change and we have to change. But in the end you still have to do what's best for your family. Like we are not here to tell people what to do with their families. You have your guidelines, your rules, your requirements and all of that stuff and that's yours. But if you raise your kids right, they're going to respect you. What I don't want our kids to be is just very timid and can't make choices. And then when their boss is yelling at them, they stick there and they stay for years, getting disrespected and all of that stuff. All of that comes from the way you were raised. Because, like me, I'm not going to take that. I'm just going to be like, oh, okay, I'm out. Anyway, Mike says, Nicole, it's happening now, but you have to instill your values in them because society will have them up. Yes. Mike, talking to your child doesn't work. Uh oh. Uh oh. Here goes Mike, y'all. We're gonna put Mike. I'm putting Mike on the screen here. But I love it. I'm telling you, I love different opinions. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. And now I can't see his thing. Okay. Talking to your child doesn't work. If you really look at the young black boys today and all of the crimes they are committing, how many of them received a beating? You would think twice before committing these crimes because the fear of embarrassment from your, and I think you say parents. Let's see on how it show. Okay. So do y'all agree with Mike? I'll put that back up. So Mike is saying talking to your child doesn't work. He's Mike saying that talking crap don't work. If you really look at the young black boys today and all of the crimes they are committing, how many of them received a beating? You would think twice before committing the crimes because the fear of embarrassment to your, I think it's saying to your family, is cutting it off on my screen. G Man says not true at all, Mike. Um, And Nicole says, not all parents beat their children. My mom would slap or punch you and be done with it. I feared my mom because she didn't play no games, but it didn't it didn't feel good. Fear wasn't a good thing. Mike and G Man says, Mike, this is not true, my guy. So and I agree that this is not true, Mike, because some people beat their kids to death, and that kid will still go out there and cause a crime. Sometimes it's just a mental thing. You know, there's a thing called oppositional disorder in kids where they have no respect for authority. They don't care what you do to them. They don't care what you say to them. You can threaten their lives. They're still going to go out and do whatever. So beating doesn't work either, Mike. That's not the answer. Because all you're doing is still instilling a generational curse in my eyes, because that's what slavery was. You got beat because you didn't do what your master wanted you to do. And I would never want my kids to feel like, oh my god, if I drop uh, a cup of Kool-Aid, I keep saying that, on a white carpet, I'm gonna get beaten. Mm-mm. And G-Man says those are typically unfathered kids, and if they are there, the father is in the same crime. Yep. and facts. You get comfortable to the beating. Yep. You get used to it. That beating doesn't mean anything anymore after a while. And especially if you have, that's why I said too, a lot of parents don't really check their kids for like mental health issues, because if you look at a lot of the sociopaths, I'm always watching those documentaries, and how sociopaths started, how these serial killers started. They started by killing animals. They started by just having real bad behavior, but their parents probably beat them too, and it didn't work. It doesn't. Is not the answer, and y'all agree. G-Man says kids get more fearful of their parents from beaten and less fearful of the laws of the land. Yep. And it is that's exactly a good point. You fear your parent, but you'll go out here and steal a bike from John Doe, and it don't matter. So so Mike, I think we didn't agree with you. But good point though. Good point. Cause and but you're probably one of the parents that are out there that think beating is the answer. And it really doesn't. It just makes you scared of your parent. Like G Man said, it really does. Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. Any more on that topic? Because we are over our time. I don't usually stay on here this long. But anyway, y'all. Well, thank y'all for joining. Come back. These are our discussions every Friday. We talk about different topics. Let me read some more comments. Mike says it works for me. So beating worked for you, Mike. All, I'm like G Man. All I remember is when I did get a beating, I was scared of my parents. I still would go out and do something that I wasn't supposed to do later. It would, it didn't do anything. So that's why when a child does something that they shouldn't be, it should be more of a lesson than a beating. That's just my opinion. But you stick to your opinion, Mike. And most of the men in my family agree with that. Okay. See, that's the way y'all were raised, Mike. And that's okay. Again. But anyway, y'all, we are at the top of the hour for this show. I know we're not at the top, but we're past the top of the hour. But thank y'all. I love y'all coming in and giving y'all opinions. Nobody is ever wrong. Mike said talk is cheap. Mike's still drilling it in. But yeah, love y'all coming in and talking about your topics and giving your information. Like I said, if you ever have a topic you want to discuss, send it to me in my inbox. I will research it, pull it up, talk about it. You don't have to say a word. You can comment or whatever. But this has been a great topic. You know, again, we're not trying to change anybody's beliefs or anything. We just like to talk, because that's what's wrong with society, in my opinion. We don't know how to sit down and just have a conversation, even if we have differences. Just still having a conversation without getting angry. There's nothing to get angry about. But anyway, y'all, I am out, and thank y'all for joining. I will see y'all next Friday. Bye.